There I am. What is up, everybody? And welcome back to yet another episode of the Warthog Gaming Podcast, hosted by me, Hamish Hector.
And me, Oliver Barsby.
How you doing, Ollie? Sorry, I'm just gonna run around with my stuff.
It's been I have to say, it's been since we've last done the podcast. It's been a very odd week. I have to say, I think the rumours of this lockdown, which they were facing in the UK, came in on Friday, Saturday, I think it was, and then snap by. Well, yesterday we're now in a national lockdown again. So it's a very odd week for us, for everyone in the UK who's listening in, for university students like me. But it's an odd week. But I've been distracted by a few games. Some game development, some nice news coming out, and a bit of Ghost of Tsushima and Watch Dogs Legion. More importantly.
How have you been finding both of those? Because I have some. Why don't you start with Ghosts of Tsushima? Because I have some Watchdog opinions.
Yeah, well, I've just been playing a bit of Ghost of Tsushima like I normally do on the sort of multiplayer mode with one of my friends. It's really fun. I think I've gone on about it for the past 2 weeks now, so I'll just say, yep, it's good. I want to get to it's getting very hard, very difficult, which is good though, because I don't want it to be too easy. Moving on to Watch Dogs Legion, because this is, I think, how have you played it much at the moment?
Yeah, so I've played it a bit, but like in terms of story, very little. I've played the opening mission, and I've played the first kind of mission after you restart DedSec. Like, minor spoilers, like you restart UK DedSec.
So you are nowhere near into you're still in the prologue, essentially.
Yeah, I've unlocked. I've just done the mission where you steal AR tech. What is? Oh, there's fireworks outside. I got so confused because there was just this bang on my. I have a big window to the right of me here, because I'm set up in my house's living room because it was the best place for me to set up all my equipment, and I, honest to God, thought someone just knocked in it, but it's a giant firework. In the UK, it's obviously bonfire night. That scared the life out of me. I thought it might be someone playing a prank on me. I don't know who it would be playing a prank on me, so I guess I'm glad that it's nobody out there, because that would be.
Bonfire night, of course. Right after lockdown, very interesting.
I think it's a lot of people doing that. So that just shocked me so much. Where am I?
But Watch Dogs Legion, you've just got into it. I think, because I've played quite a bit more than you. I'm very far more into the story. Technically, not even, because one of the main features which I really like in Watch Dogs Legion is the permadeath feature.
Okay.
And you're technically not up to the point where permadeath's even unlocked.
Okay, I hadn't known that, because I'm doing a lot of the side missions. So I'm kind of enjoying it, but maybe I need to get a bit further with it. The problem I'm having, for me at least, is I've saved the first borough. So people that don't know much about the game, there's going to be some explosions on my end. But basically, so for anyone that's not playing the game, there's all these regions of London. There's just going to be there's all these regions of London, and there are like these missions you can do that specifically loosen the grip that Albion, like the kind of private police division, have on those sections of London. I've cleared the first one of those, and the reason you want to clear them is I think it unlocks new people, but specifically it gives you like a super cool, awesome person. So the first one you get from Camden's like a brilliant hacker. Yeah,
that's what I think the Camden one, well, it's like sort of, you have to do that to sort of progress the story. It's like a forced tutorial, not tutorial, but like a welcome to the game sort of type thing. Because I've only just freed another borough. It's classic Ubisoft sort of design. Go free these places, go liberate this, go to this area.
I find it way too easy to get distracted by then. Once you clear a borough, you can. It's kind of like how in the original Assassin's Creed games, you could do like an eagle tower, and you could eagle vision. That's it, and you could see all the area around you. You basically unlock where all these collectibles are, so you can find out where you can hack for free money. You find out where you can find these like skill point upgrades that come in batches of 10, which are really helpful for unlocking abilities, and all these other useful factors. The thing I find annoying, though, is I feel like the game too early on is trying to send me all over London. I wish, because like at first, yeah, there are things like this Camden mission where it tries to get me around, but I quite enjoy like running across people and being like, oh, this person has some cool abilities. I want to hire them.
Yeah, that is
So
good.
the people I've been going for early on, particularly, are anybody with like access. So there are some people I can't get, but I've been able to
Mhm.
find a builder, a doctor, and I think like a low level security person that kind of likes DedSec at the moment. So I was
Yeah,
trying to like recruit those people. But like one of the missions sent me, if Camden sort of like in the map is sort of in this top left corner, I guess from the angle that people are looking at it. The other one is like in the bottom right, like it's the other end of the map.
yeah, I think I remember that mission. Yeah, I think.
And I wish it kept me kind of more near Camden, particularly when it's like you
Mhm.
haven't done much. I can understand later on it would be great to like actually have to traverse London, but I wish the game early on was like, okay, this person's trying to do missions. We'll give them slightly not as good people, but maybe their missions are only in the borough
Yeah,
they're in and like adjacent boroughs.
I'll say you just definitely need to keep playing. 100% need to sort of continue playing it, continue get out of the first few missions because it does get a bit better. But there is that problem you've said that I do agree with actually.
Yeah,
Um, Sort of the one thing about the what was it called the traversing across London. Lots of the missions, or we're not actually. To be honest, it's probably not as many of the mission. It is a bit, but like recruiting people, it does often. You go to one place and it's like, oh, can you go over here and do a mission here, and then you can either drive across London or just fast travel. And I just fast travel because sometimes, well, if it's far away, I do, and then you do like a little mission, or you find somebody, or you infiltrate whatever, the gameplay, and then it goes, oh, well, you've done this. Now go to a completely different place in a often very different parts of London. There's lots of these bits where it's like you keep having to fast travel around and stuff. And I do agree, it's like the needs because they're all random. So lots of these. This is because I think it's probably a bit of my own fault. But when you try and recruit people, lots of the recruitment mission stuff is random.
yeah, yes.
Um,
It's, the
which
missions
is
are
fair
really
enough, to
cool.
be honest.
The
Yeah.
missions are really cool, and I am enjoying it. I think it's just I have quite a few games that feel a little bit not quite. I muted my camera, my microphone for a little bit. No fireworks. The moment I unmute it, there's fireworks. Um,
I think it was one for me as
there's a
well. There.
there's a bunch of games that are kind of, what's the word? Sort of like taking up a lot of time for me right now. You know, I've got Watch Dogs Legion, which I'm really loving. Well, not loving. I think I would love actually you talking about it, and there are elements that I really like, but it just feels like a lot.
Yeah.
Apex Legends Season 7 has just dropped, so that's a bunch of new stuff. What's been really helpful is there's like a new pack you can get, so you can get all of the legends. So I've just been playing with
Nice.
like
Yeah.
most of the free ones, but now I can actually play as anybody. So I was able to actually play as the new legend, which I haven't done in a while.
Yeah.
And I'm able to play a few other legends I haven't tried before. Destiny 2 is like Beyond Light is so close. I'm just trying to round off a couple of
Yeah.
missions.
Of course. Of course.
And there's been some really cool stuff, and I'm getting really excited for Beyond Light. And then Fortnite has entered like this big XP extravaganza before the end of the month, where that season is going to tick over, but it's trying to get people up to level 220.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people have been
Yeah.
complaining that this season feels like a real grind. And obviously you want the cool skins that you can lock, like those holographic skins, to be like, obviously you want them to be a bit difficult to unlock, but people feel like it's a little bit just like grind out loads of levels, which doesn't feel very fun. I wonder if they'll bring in some kind of more challenge focus, because I think there were some previous seasons where it's like you did have to level up quite high, but there was like a challenge element on top of that, where I think you did have to do like a couple of objectives. I think that would be fun. Like maybe set you've got to get so many wins or so many of this thing, because then it feels like you've not just got this premium skin that you've played a lot to get, you actually also have earned it in some respect.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But no. Yeah. The last thing I'll say in Watch Dogs Legion, because I feel I've not been as praising as I should be for a game I've probably played a lot of this week. You know, the recruitment sort of side thing that everybody you can recruit is so fun. Like you literally can just walk around London and be like, this person looks cool, this person looks cool, and they all have different abilities or different like variations and stuff. And it's so cool to see all these ones, and there's some very fun ones around. So I definitely recommend trying to do it. And I've not really talked about the permit. I mentioned it earlier. The permadeath feature makes the game so fun. It's like so high stakes because I've got my favorite few people, and I'm like, do I want to send them on this mission? I don't want them to get killed by the
I
Albion security.
I do a lot of like my people never get into any trouble because I just send in my drone. I
Yeah, I
fully
do. I've
upgraded
done lots of that stuff.
my spider drone, so that's
Yeah,
good. The only actually, so the only other thing I want to say is there's one I unlocked with like there's some people that can get unique weapons. I wish some of these
yeah.
unlocks affected your whole troop because it'd be really because I unlocked a paintball gun and I think that's such a cool like thing that I really want more people to
That's
have.
the point, though. It has to be. You have to play as that person. It's that's the whole point. Is like you can't just have this one overpowered person who can do everything. You got to have a massive variety. It's the team. That's the whole point of it. And I do like it because I've been playing it with my permadeath on. I play on hard as well. I go into a place with my sort of construction worker into a construction yard. Cause a bit of trouble, get spotted, get into a fight, and I might have and I think I lost. And I was like, oh no, he got killed. And I'm like, right, well, send another person, finish the mission. I'm like, right, now I've got to go find another construction worker because my construction worker died. To find one, get him, and then I have to do the construction worker missions. I do that. And then when I did that, I was on the mission to get the construction worker, and then that person died whilst I was trying to recruit them. I was like, no. But it's a very fun game. It's really, I think it's a unique way in a sense. The open world, the gameplay open world stuff is classic Watch Dogs, classic open world gameplay. But this element of the permadeath, the recruitment thing is
Yeah.
very unique, and I think it's worth playing just for that. To be honest,
Okay.
and a multiplayer cool.
I think I will give it a go then. I will I will probably try and blast through more of it this weekend because, yeah, I'll just try and balance my time a bit more and we'll see how it all goes. But yeah, I think we've talked a lot about Watch Dogs. You've definitely like convinced me to keep going, and I've paid for a full.
You bought it.
Game.
You might as.
I might as well. Like, what am I gonna? Like if it was a Game Pass game, I'd give up on it. But at this point, it's like a sunk pound, like £50 cost.
Yeah,
of course, I'm gonna give it a go. And also, I got it digital, so I'm not. I'm in that respect, I have to play. I've got no other option. I can't trade it in.
Yeah, can't return it.
Yeah. Also, I am going to have to occasionally just mute myself on the stream, but I'll try and only do it when you're talking, Ollie, just because these fireworks seem to like start.
It's bonfire night, It'll give people a bit of an atmosphere. they'll be thinking, "Oh, it's Guy Fawkes night." If you're listening in and you don't have any fireworks nearby, you can hear them.
You can enjoy them now. So, why don't we go into the first news story? No, Ollie, you suggested quite a few of these. And I can't find this first one, specifically like a site you're trying to go for. So if you wouldn't mind sort of leading off with this news, because I am very excited about it, but I just can't find probably the article that you're referencing from today.
Is it the Pokemon Go news? Are we talking about here?
Yeah, Pokemon Go news.
Yes, so I'm actually taking this from Eurogamer. Actually, this is an article titled "Pokemon Go is having its most lucrative year yet." So we all know, and well, Hamish certainly loves Pokemon Go. A great game for me back in 2016, 2017. I really liked the game then as well. So Pokemon Go is having its most lucrative year yet. So this year, more than £1 billion has been spent by players in the first 10 months alone. And considering then this article, it takes some data from the Sensory Tower, which sort of tracks how much money is spent on Google Play, Google Store, all these ones, and revenue has gone up by 11% this year. So it's now more than it ever has been, more than it was in 2016 when it first released, when everyone was playing it, more than it was last year when it was 902 million, and it's now already reached 1 billion with, of course, 2 months to go, which is, I find it is so fascinating that this 4-year-old game, which I don't think it died per se. That's not a correct word, but like I didn't think many people still properly played it.
No. I think
so many people are playing this, and so much money is going into this. Like this is 1 billion. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. So I think for me, this makes to me like someone that has been playing Pokemon Go and is I would say a somewhat avid player. It depends where I am. When I've been at Leamington, it's really easy just to play it all the time. Obviously, where I currently live, I'm in the middle of the countryside. There's one Pokestop about a 3-minute walk from my house, and then after that, I have to walk best part of maybe like 20 minutes to the next town to try and get any more. So it's a bit more awkward to just go out of my way so completely. But there have been lots of reasons why Pokemon Go has done really well. Like surprisingly, it's something to do during lockdown. I think for me, I don't normally play Pokemon Go here, but when I'm on my 1 hour walk a day, I mentioned that like it's really easy because that 1 hour I'm going to use my full time. I can do a whole massive loop, and it's worth me going out of the way to get to these Pokemon stops. They've upgraded all this stuff to make it more worthwhile, even if you are playing from home. They've actually kept some in. A while ago, they were trying to reduce some of these things. So like incense, we're going to had gone from half an hour to 1 hour, which I've said before was great as a timer for me to like, I know I'm walking an hour, so I just go half an hour out, half an hour back. But there were plans for those to go back down to half an hour. I think those are planning to stay. Incubators, so the things that help you hatch eggs, which have some really rare Pokemon inside. They, even like the most basic version, meant that your eggs only took half as long to hatch, which was really helpful. That is going back up. I think a few of those other like quite overpowered ones are going to be put back in place, but some of the good quality of life things have happened. They've added a bunch of new regions. I think over the year they've added some new Sinnoh Pokemon, but more specifically they've added Univers Pokemon, sort of spattered over here. I think they added the first half at the beginning of 2020, they had the second half at the end of near the end of 2020, during the summer. They've got some Gala Pokemon in there, particularly some Gala forms. Recently they just had you can go and get Sirfetch'd and Galarian Ponyta, which is sick. And you just have like some of these things. They've had so many events. Like they've put a lot of effort into these events you can do from anywhere in the world, because obviously you can't go and group up at one of the, I had a ticket to go to Liverpool in April. That didn't happen. But they put on some of these events, or not quite the same thing, but something like it. They had a Regigigas event, which happened, I think, last year, but they went off that and went, okay, well, oh no, did Regigigas happen earlier this year? I think Regigigas was earlier this year. And they've really gone off that. They did a Genesect event, so that was the way you can, and they did a Victini event. Basically, it's like you have a bunch of quests which you can do over a couple of days, typically a weekend, and they have some special spawns of Pokemon. So for like the Regigigas event, they had the Regis spawning at all the gyms, and that was basically all you could get for that couple of days. And then if you complete those challenges, you unlock the legendary Pokemon. You can catch it. It's pretty much a guaranteed catch. It might take you quite a few Pokeballs, but it will never run away from you. So if you just keep lobbing Pokeballs at it, you'll succeed. And, they keep having all of those, and it's really awesome. It gives you the Pokemon normally early. I don't think Regigigas or Genesect were actually added to the game fully yet, but Victini's come out since for sure. So, and the others might have come out. I might have just missed them because
there's been a lot of events. I mean, I'm looking at this. Sort of.
There's also GoFest,
I've seen this GoFest. There's remote raids. I think you were sort of talking about playing it with your friends, all the stuff online and things.
Yeah,
and to someone
raids. Remote raids, the other best feature. Sorry, I'm just gonna keep ranting. Remote raids was so fantastic because but it used to be if you wanted to do a big Pokemon battle, you had to be at the gym. But that can be really awkward because you, particularly me, someone that normally plays on my own, I will go to a gym and it's like, well, there's a 5-star raid. I can't do this on my own. And unless I happen to come across like 2 or 3 other people, probably 4 other people to help me, because that's how difficult some of these raids are, I'm just not going to succeed. Now, you can get free remote raid pass every month, and you can pay for a few every week or so, or maybe every day. And you can also buy more. But basically, they let you do a raid from anywhere. If it's on your map, you can just do it from really far away. And also, when you join a raid, whether it's as a remote raid or not, you can invite friends. So I think you can invite up to like 5 friends. So I have a few friends that are like, obviously I knew from uni, who are now all over the UK, and I can invite a few of them to join me at a raid battle. So suddenly it goes from, and they get a notification on their phone to come and join. So it goes from it being me on my own and just, it's like, well, I want to get that Darkrai, but I can't beat it. It can be like, well, actually, it's worth me trying to fight that Darkrai, because if I can get my friends to join me, then I've got a shot, and it gets me doing it.
It's these are, I think, these features and these new improvements are fantastic for Pokemon Go, especially because as an outsider to this old Pokemon Go world, I've not really picked it up since, not properly, I'd say, since 2016, since it first came out. I don't know, I think it's because of where I was living. There wasn't that many, as you sort of alluded to. But you would have thought in 2020, when there's been restrictions on people's movement, people have been sort of encouraged to stay indoors, venues haven't been open, I just thought from the outside it wouldn't have done as well. But all these sort of new moves to allow people to play from home seem to have worked, and not just works enough to sort of continue the spending at the level that it was before, but actually boost the game to £1 billion profit already in a year, which is incredible. I think, and Pokemon. I did some quick maths. If you heard me typing earlier, £1 billion divide if they had to sell to the normal Pokemon game. So I put about £50 or $50 for a normal Pokemon game. I've sold 20 million copies just to make 1 billion. So Pokemon Go bringing us in for every year. Well, essentially what it seems like every year is a lot of money and a massive, massive revenue source for both Nintendo. Well, Game Freak, Nintendo, and Niantic. So credit to them for sustaining this.
Yeah. Sorry, I just noticed. I think we're losing the bottom of your head, Ollie.
Yeah,
there we go.
Just let you know. I won't slouch anymore.
No, it's fair. I wasn't sure whether you can angle your camera because you can't obviously see the stream screen that I've got up here. But yeah, that's totally fair. And I think Pokemon Go's pretty accessible. And also, talking about Pokemon releases, there isn't a full release this year. Did you remember that the Crown Tundra released a couple of weeks ago?
I saw it, and I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, I had the exact same thing. I was really hyped for this. I own the DLC. I should play it. I've spent money on it.
You should definitely play it.
I can't be bothered, but I want to, because it's kind of like there are 5 new Pokemon. There's the 2 Reggies, the Regieleki and Regidrago, or something like that. There's the one that's the box art Pokemon that's got a weird head, like a big bulbous head. I think there's 2 unicorn Pokemon. I don't quite understand, but 2 horse Pokemon. So I'm gonna have to jump in there at some point to recomplete my living decks.
Just one of those sort of things where you're like, come on, just make it. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see when the numbers come out, if they ever do release the numbers of how successful the DLC has been for them. I'm not too sure. It might have been successful. Whether it's worth the money is, of course, a massive different question. I don't think it was. It was you have to pay essentially £90 for the game and the DLC at this point, which is a lot of money. I don't know. I'm glad they haven't released a new game this year, because I didn't really like when Pokemon did a new one every year. It kind of felt like they were rushing the games and sort of, pushing them out every year. Hopefully the new game, when it does, or whenever it comes out or whenever they announce it, hopefully it hasn't been sort of the focus has been on this DLC too much. I hope, because obviously I will get a new Pokemon game. I've got every Pokemon game since Diamond and Pearl, so
it looks like they have added some really cool features. They've added this thing called Dynamax Adventure, so I think it requires you to go on more explorations. And it seems like I remember Isle of Armor had some really cool battles that you could go and do, and I think the content was awesome. I think the issue was it kind of came a little bit late. It almost could have been good to have them both come out in the month or 2 after Pokemon, just sort of give you a little bit more to feed in. And I think if they were going to do these bigger releases, I think it's obviously Sword and Shield, the big criticism was it didn't have some of these older Pokemon. And so it would be kind of cool for newer fans to try and catch some of those now. Yeah. But I think for older fans, particularly me, it's just I wish there was a more considerable number of new Pokemon that I didn't have.
I'm taking us a bit off topic here, but we're taking this fine. I feel like lots of single player games now don't particularly have DLC as per se. There's not as much DLC going around as I thought there used to be. Lots of games had lots of DLC before, but look at the big releases of recently. They don't have big DLC packs as in where it's storyline content. They might have a multiplayer element which has games as a service, live service game sort of elements on the side. But I think there's a shift back to sort of the big single player experience where they go, this is the game. There's no DLC, or the DLC is free. But there's not as many expansion packs as Pokemon calls them, where there'll be this big game, and it's finishing with epic adventure, and then they'll go, oh, also we've added this new DLC, because I think lots of them do like closing the story up now. a bit more. And
Yeah.
it's gone back to how it used to be.
With Spider-Man,
The
there are
single
some
player.
games. I wonder if it's
Spider-Man
sort of
did
that
have them. Yeah,
because Watch Dogs has some DLC, which I was actually surprised to see it
I
was
did see
paid.
that, and I was a bit disappointed.
I wonder if maybe there's an element of potentially for games like Ghost of Tsushima. I wonder if it does this, and I guess Watch Dogs doesn't really, but there might be other games someone can mention where it's like they're not necessarily they're going to put out the content for free, but the way they get you to they earn money from it is then they have these cosmetics you can add in, like say Marvel's
Yeah,
Avengers. So they
and
push out all of the new. They're going to push out all the extra characters for free, or at least they were when they said they
I could
announced the
yeah,
game.
I could say Ghost of Tsushima doesn't have any microtransactions. It's
Oh, okay.
all. I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is all. You have to actually just keep playing the game. Um,
Okay,
because yeah, but
that's fine.
I think that's what I mean. It seems to me the monetization route they've realized just putting out DLC doesn't getting people to buy £30 pack doesn't really work anymore. It's
It's a
this
lot.
big.
There's just so many
It's
games. Like, I don't have time.
Yeah, people will finish a game and they'll put it down and they go, right, I'm done with that. I'll go play another game now. They don't want, and then 3-4 months down the line, a new cycle, the game cycle has moved on. You
Yeah,
release that DLC, people are like, what? Oh, I'm sort of a loop with that game. I couldn't get back into it. I love Spider-Man. I felt like that with the Spider-Man DLC. I was like, ah, can't bother playing those games.
that's fair. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm playing so much right now, and yeah, so it feels like that it's really building up. And even trying to go back to some older games, like I tried to stream Kingdom Hearts on here for a bit, and I just didn't have time to do it anymore. Like trying to
So
keep up
many
with
games, so
everything.
little time.
But there's because I'm also like trying to play Spyro every little bit. I'm able to take I've worked out how to take my Xbox to Izzy's, and because I'm living on my own, I'm thankfully still able to go and visit her because of the bubble situation here in the
Oh yeah, of
UK.
course.
Otherwise, I'd see like no human beings in a week. So I'm glad that stuck around because that would have been really sad for me.
Yeah,
Just no human contact. Um,
a true gamer.
I could just, to be fair, it would help me get through this back catalog. But yeah, like Spyro was this fun thing on my Switch. But yeah, I've got that. I've got Watch Dogs, Beyond Light, Prep. I've got Apex. I've got Pokemon Go. Got
So
Fortnite.
many games, so
So
many
many
games.
games, and Cyberpunk's coming out. I'm glad it got delayed. I'm still glad it got delayed, even if it was only 3 days or not 3 days. Was it 3 days?
A month. I think it was a month.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it was three something.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about Pokemon Go for like 20 minutes, or this one news story.
Don't worry. No. Well, we can move on to the We've sort of I think our
Talks around it.
talk here being about a bit of the lockdown which UK is currently facing. And when it broke, when it was officially confirmed, quite a lot of people, obviously people were like, oh, what's this going to mean for me visiting people? What's it going to mean for me going out? Lots of the game community, they're like, what does this mean for my PS5?
I want to know.
What?
I want to know what.
I
When
wanna
am I
know.
getting my pre-orders? Because
Is it cancelled?
so the
So
lockdown
there
happened
was
today. So if you're watching this live on Twitch, it happened today, or if you're watching this later, it's the 5th of November. And yeah, like basically the UK government have locked down everything again, like we were back springtime. I want to say like April,
started in
May.
March. That's in March.
Yeah, March. It feels like so long ago, doesn't it? But it means that obviously people can't meet up, but also non-essential shops have had to close. So I think if you're a supermarket or you sell foods, you can do that. And I think some restaurants and cafes can do takeaway.
Supermarkets and takeaways.
Can you maybe corner shops, or are they non-essential?
If it covers supermarkets, I think grocery stores, as they call them in
Yeah.
America, I think they, sort of seen as essential.
Yeah, you
But,
have to basically sell
shops-
foods, but
shops such as Game do
Yeah.
unfortunately not fall into the category of essential.
I'd count it. I'd
I
give
would.
Game essential. I enjoy just browsing Game, even though I don't buy anything. I like going in.
Yeah, it's a nice shop to browse. It's faced a lot of trouble in the past in general, just because the game sort of industry has become more digital, more online, and there's a lot of real concern that the coronavirus situation would cripple the brick and mortar store industry. Luckily, the one thing which came out, I think it was a few days ago, is that people who've pre-ordered or went into the store and pre-ordered their PS5 or Xbox Series X will still be able to go and pick it up from the store in a sort of click and collect fashion.
Yeah.
of all the click and collect things I'd want to do, that would probably be at the top of my list. So it will be open. I think
Yeah.
they've got varying different hours, but I think
Uh,
it seemed to be 8 till 2. I think was when I saw.
yeah,
Or
I've got a
10,
tweet.
yeah,
I'm looking at IGN. This is an article by Joe Scrabbles. He includes a tweet, which is the Xbox Series X store pre-orders. You can. Oh, it's just taking me to their Twitter. It's from the game official Twitter. You can collect it between 8 and 2, and the Xbox All Access customers will be contacted directly.
yeah.
This was on November 1st that they said this, so maybe things changed since then, but that seems to be the most up-to-date thing that I have.
The one thing which has changed was not changed since really, because I think most stores had already sold out of their sort of allocated stock. But today, I think you sort of alluded to it earlier. PlayStation has announced no stock will be sold on the release date in person. It will all be online. So you will not be able to. It obviously won't affect the UK, but like other countries, you will not be able to just walk into a shop and be like, "Can I buy a PlayStation today?" They'll go,
Yeah,
"No,
no,
you order online."
that's going to be my strategy. I'm going to have to go
Yeah,
somewhere and be like, "Can I, please, sir, can I have a PS5?"
and they're like, "Nope." See this article from the PlayStation blog. I think it's a smart move for many reasons. Stock levels, logistical issues. But I think ultimately they've done it to try and be like, look, we don't want to cause some either bad press for them or just we want to protect your safety. We don't want to have hundreds of people lining up at their local GameStops in America or their local whatever their sort of localized game stores are per nation. We don't want people to be lining up here, camping out for hours, potentially spreading coronavirus between each other. We want you to be safe. So it's all online now. You'll get one if well you might
Yeah,
get one, which
because
I think
because it's the safest move. Because you're right. Because it's sort of like if you have people grouping up, you always see these really long lines. You don't want it to be like 100 people get coronavirus from game or
you know
from
the
Xbox
bad
or
press there.
PS5. It
Yeah,
will that would just ruin you. Because like for some people they don't care about coronavirus. You can maybe tell that by the US election results so far. I won't make any more comments about that, but you can see a lot of people voted in a way that shows that they don't care about COVID. And
as a
I
politics student, very interesting time.
but I think for a lot of other people, obviously not getting coronavirus is quite important. Gaming is
Yeah,
also important, but I hope for most people, not getting COVID comes ahead of not getting a PS5. I don't know. I actually don't even know if I could say that for myself. To be fair, I'd consider risking it, but no, I wouldn't want to catch it. It would be bad.
I'm glad I got my order in for the sort of what's it called the delivery. This time next week, the Xbox Series X and S will be out.
I know.
I will have the S. I'll be trying it out. It's not got much SSD, which is a bit unfortunate, but I am using. I think the term which has been thrown around a lot is, which is what I'm using it for, is a Xbox Game Pass set top box. That's what it is for me. I want to play these games on my and see how it is and look good. I need to probably upgrade my monitor / TV. Probably get a 4K one at some point, but that's in the future.
Yeah,
We'll discuss that
I'm
in
lucky.
that.
I've got my
So
4K TV, so I've been enjoying some
yeah,
games, enjoying some
I need some
films.
4K.
What
I need
did I
some
watch
4K.
yesterday? I was playing Tell Me Why with it with Izzy yesterday, so that was quite good. So yeah, I was getting some of that done, and yeah, it's all exciting stuff. I'm very jealous of everyone that's going to get those new consoles, but with how job stuff's going, I might be able to actually get one at some point when they become re-available. So that'll be nice. But yeah, like I think this is all kind of good news. Obviously, it seems like it is kind of okay. It's good news that people can get their orders. It's good news that it's going online, so it's going to be safe. Obviously, then the bigger thing is how does this affect Game in general? Because obviously, like this was hopefully going to be a big moment for them. Game could really push out there, and I think people could still pre-order from them. But I'd say for me, the reason I'd want to go to a brick and mortar store is often they guarantee the same day it comes out. So like you can either, if you're pre-ordering a game, you will get it on release day, whereas shops like Amazon don't guarantee that. And if you go to get something there, you will you can pick it up. You can actually have it on the day you get it. If that makes sense. So if you go and pick up a console, you hit, rather than hitting buy and it being delivered, you can just hand the person your card, or I guess you have to put in your card PIN code, but you can pay with it, and then you have the console and you can take it home. Whereas now, if it's digital, or not digital, it's over the internet, you have to wait for it to come anyway. And game, I think, obviously, I think with the consoles it probably is about the same price, but particularly when it comes to buying physical games, Amazon ends up being a little bit cheaper, I find. Or even if game is the same price, I think Amazon does free delivery and game doesn't always do free delivery.
Amazon has free delivery usually, and often has better pre-order bonuses or something like that.
Yeah,
there's often quite some exclusive stuff, because I want to say shamed, but maybe not ashamed. Ashamed is probably not the right word. I do order, because I am a player who always buys physical games. I got Watch Dogs physically. I do always order them from Amazon, just because it's, if I'm out as well, they can deliver them.
Yeah.
If I'm busy that day and I don't have time to go to a game store, again, if I don't really want to go to, like now I can go to one. I'm glad I did order it through Amazon.
Because even when I lived on campus, back at 4 years ago at university, I wouldn't. I would get a bus ticket and go to the game shop in Leamington, or is there a game
Coventry?
in Cannon Park?
Coventry.
I don't think I went to the one in Coventry.
No, there's a CX.
Yeah, no, I didn't go to Cannon Park.
Yeah, very wide for you guys.
I'd go and get a game, because for that, like £3, I'd have to pay a bit of a premium, but I know I would get the game on release date. So many Amazon games. I remember I think they burnt me once. I'm one of those people that if a shop burns me, like Burger King, no, Burger King is dead for me for lots of reasons that I won't go into right now. But when it comes to like Amazon, I think there was one game. It was like, this isn't coming on release day, and they didn't tell me, and I couldn't cancel my pre-order. And I think it took like a day or two for it to come, and it wasn't that bad. It was just like, I wanted to play it on release day.
I've had that once with Amazon. It was with Kirby Star Allies.
But if you notice, well, when you pre-order stuff with them, particularly video games, they don't guarantee same day. I think that's something I've noticed that they do on some of them.
Prime now, with like first pre-order release. I think many now do. I'm not sure though. It might just be
maybe it's changed.
Maybe it has. But I mean, I didn't order my PS5 with Amazon. I got it actually from Smiths.
How is that going? Because Smiths is another store I imagine isn't essential.
It's delivery, is how mine is. So that's how it is for me. So it'll still get delivered. The reason I've got mine through Smiths is it's kind of what you were saying about shops burning you. I mean, it's in progress now. That's my order status is for it. I just had a look at it now. I'm just making sure that it looks all okay. Yeah, it looks all good for me. That's my address.
That's just because the right one. You didn't put in the
I don't have a little panic. Just because my for the Nintendo Switch, I remember when I first tried to pre-order it, it was actually sold out on Amazon. I think it was sold out on Game, and the only place which had it still was Smiths. And I ordered it from Smiths, and I think I was in sixth form still, so I was like year 13. I was 17, 18,
so young.
a young boy. And it came like 8 a.m. in the morning before I went to school. We'll say that, and I was like, Smiths, you've outdone yourself here. Well
done.
Well
good
done.
Job. That's more the Royal Mail than Smiths probably, but yeah.
I think it was with Hermes or one of them. So
okay.
I was one of them, and I was like, "You've done well." So when the PS5, when I was assessing, I was like, "Game, I just don't trust Game deliveries. I don't know why. I don't know if I have a reason for it, but I just don't trust Game's deliveries."
Yeah, no, it's easy to get into it. It's business stuff.
Yeah, Amazon I think had a bit of issues anyways. Amazon's orders hadn't actually come out yet when I first ordered it. It was only Amazon. It was only Game and Smith, and I was like, Smiths. It was a panic. It was a rush. If we throw back to that PS5 pre-order fiasco, it was like everyone's like, quickly, as soon as you can get whichever one you can get. So I got that one, but hopefully it should be fine. We'll know in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you talk about the Nintendo Switch. Again, that was another console generation that I wasn't really a console, but like that console wasn't one I got when it came out. I had to wait until a bit later. I got lucky with some bit of birthday cash, and then also I worked during my Easter break, and the paycheck I was getting was all enough to get me a comfortable Switch. So that was really nice. So I guess, I'm just waiting again. It's always waiting a couple of months or two for the next console. But it's fun, you're going to filter out some of the rubbish games and be like, you don't have to get this game just because it's new and you want to enjoy your new console. You can actually play something fun. But yeah, like we love these places that sort of do us right in whatever way. Talking about Amazon deliveries, just like go off this topic for a second. Amazon had said they delivered something to me and I, for the life of me, couldn't work out what they'd done. It was like, this isn't with me. And my laptop is on like a cooler pad, and they pushed it under my back gate, and I checked, and so they delivered it to me. It was in my property, but it was just in the middle of my garden for a couple of hours. But this parcel that came the other day, they hadn't put it inside. They literally just put it on top of my green bin that I'd left outside the back of my house. So it's really awkward to find this back gate of my house, by the way. So it's not the most obvious thing. And they left it on top of this bin. It was just like, why didn't you either knock on my door and just like leave it outside my front door, which would make a lot of sense, or at least put it under the back gate like you've done before. So it was there for like a good few days. Thankfully it was in like a plasticky bag, so the fact that it had rained, it wasn't a big problem. But still, like, I'd fully expected this thing just never to show up. And it wasn't that much. It was like a couple of quid for like a fun Halloween costume prop, but it obviously arrived late by this point. So it wasn't worth it.
Well, yeah, it has its problems. I mean, that's as you go back to the full circle game. You go there, you get the product when you come. And I know, as much as I've not really bought many things from Game in the past, I do hope they survive. It's a really nice store. It's a big part, like in terms of, if you think back to my childhood, I'd always go into game stores, but like, I want this game, and the pre-owned stuff, all this stuff. I really hope it survives. It'd be sad if it doesn't, because there's not many real properly game stores in the UK anymore, apart from just Game.
Or I guess it's one of those weird things though, where sort of Game is kind of squeezed in the middle, because for a lot of people it's easier to go to some of these other places like Smith's. It's a toy store, and you can get video games there, but you can get so many other things, so there's more reasons to go there. Amazon has a bit of everything, but obviously it's online, and you might have these delivery problems.
So easy.
And then the pre-owned stuff, if I'm going to do pre-owned, I'm going to go to CeX. Like CeX is so much better. It is, I feel like you get better value for the money, for the games you trade in, and I feel like you sort of, that's where I got my Xbox One X from. It was really quick, easy. I think if you're trading for, I think sometimes it depends. Like you have to sort of do the math sometimes to work out, okay, is it cheaper for me to trade it in here and then pay a little bit extra to get it at Game, or should I trade it in at CeX and then get this console? Sometimes you have to work it all out. But I find CeX often ends up being way better. It's
a tough one, but I think Game might be okay. Yeah. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
Is it dead? Hopefully not. Probably not. But, a lot of other companies are shutting down, in other sectors. We've seen like John Lewis has to cut loads of jobs and all these other things. So Game might have to cut jobs and all that stuff.
It's already been losing a lot of places anyways over the past couple of years, hasn't it? So it's going to be tough. They're probably going to have to make some changes anyways to their model in the next few years, just because everything's going more digital anyways.
Yeah, and also I guess, sorry to cut. Oh, sorry. Because I guess the other thing that just like occurred to me, obviously this November period is very much like kind of for some people like the Christmas build up. So, and Game is one of those shops. It's like, I've got a kid, either a nephew, a niece, a grandson, a granddaughter, or someone that is young in my life that likes video games. My grandparents, if they were around, they'd be like, oh, we'll hop into Game, we'll grab something. And like that's sort of how they probably make quite a bit of money. These people is like, oh, I have someone that likes video games, I'll get them whatever. And now they can't do that, because maybe they could do it in December, but for some people that's really late for Christmas buying. People like getting it in November period.
Well, it's just going to be a wait and see. I hope they survive, but yeah, we'll have to see what happens with Game.
We'll work it out. And yeah. Do we've kind of talked around it a little bit because we've talked about all these things, so it's just like a little bit closing out lockdown, what you plan to be playing? What's your gaming strategy to get
I think,
through it?
yeah, I've already alluded to my PS5 coming in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Actually, 2 weeks today. 2 weeks today. Oh yes. So the PlayStation 5 comes out. The Xbox Series S comes out. I think it's definitely going to be Spider-Man for me. 100% on the 19th of November. Touch wood, touch wood. That's the main one when that happens. Watch Dogs Legion. Still, I need to finish that. And with the Xbox, I do want to play Tell Me Why. I've not played it yet, unfortunately. I know you said it's good. I want to play
I'm
that
enjoying
more.
it so far.
Maybe some of the Gears of War games. Gears 5 is apparently supposed to be quite good.
Okay.
Um, there's a lot of those ones coming out. Bug Snacks, PS5 game, coming out. But if we go to retro, more of those ones, or rather than retro, ones I need to catch up on. My flatmate has started playing Red Dead Redemption 2 again. I never
Okay.
completed Red Dead Redemption 2. I got to this. I can't remember what the city's called. Have you played it?
No, I've not touched it. I heard it was like so realistic, so long. I was just like,
That's the thing.
nah.
Yeah, it's long. I got to a point in there now. I got to a city and I just stopped playing it. I think it was when Super Smash Bros. Came out. I just stopped playing it and played that instead. And just never picked it back up. And I'm like, I probably need to play that again. So I might install it on my PS5, but I might just keep it. I might delete a few games off my PS4 and keep it on there and just try it through there.
Yeah.
Because I do not want Red Dead Redemption taking up 200 gigabytes of my PS5.
True.
I might just play on my PS4 and get through lockdown that way. So what about you? What's the thoughts?
I think for
Lockdown
me,
games.
I'm not quite as lucky. Obviously, I won't probably be getting these consoles.
Yeah.
But there's a few games, Destiny 2 Beyond Light, I've keep mentioning, will be coming out, and I am really excited about so much of this stuff. One thing that's helped the prep for that game a lot is I believe there was news that for anyone that doesn't play, you have this gear that levels up, and that's your light level. But they've talked about how actually for next season they're just going to upgrade everyone's light level to the lowest sort of the current max of the game, which I think is 1050, the hard cap, or the and is it soft cap? That's the soft cap. Sorry, hard cap slightly higher because of trickery. But they're going to upgrade everyone's gear to this current cap. So particularly because Bungie don't want people just like grinding out gear in these final weeks, particularly because content's going to get vaulted for an indefinite period of time. They'll just like go and enjoy this stuff. Obviously, if you've got the right light level, go and do it, because this content's going to be gone soon. Go and finish these quests, go and finish these missions, try this raid if you can. Don't worry about grinding out in Crucible and getting all these bounties, because that might be what you want, but if that's meant that you haven't then gone and done this other thing that maybe isn't as lucrative for grinding, then it doesn't matter. Go and play it, because it's going to be gone soon and then you'll miss out. So I'll probably be playing some Destiny 2, probably playing a bit of Apex Legends. Like this current season, the new map seems really, really cool. It feels really different in many ways, so I'm excited to give that a go. I really like Fortnite. Again, like I'm going to be keeping up with Fortnite. Probably trying to suspend a lot less money in Fortnite now, because I think I've got enough skins. I don't think I can't wear every skin that I now own in Fortnite, but there's been some choice ones recently. And then, yeah, just playing bits and bobs, Watch Dogs Legion, and seeing what else I can do. Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memories comes out in like a few days. In like a week?
Exciting.
When is Melody of Memories?
I've got one game. Hyrule Warriors. Age of Calamity. I might be picking up. I'm not sure yet, because
Is it out?
I don't think it's out yet. I think it's out maybe next week. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity comes out on. It's out.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either, but I think it is out.
I did not realize that is out.
Oh, no.
It can't be out. No, never mind. Wait.
It was sorry. Yeah, the official release date is the 20th. I saw something that said like the 28th of October, but maybe it got delayed a bit.
Wikipedia, you are very wrong there.
Yeah, I've got it. It's the 20th of November.
Yeah.
I might play that game.
That is, what are you doing? Wikipedia saying 20th of October. Maybe it got pushed back, or it just, I don't know. I might play that because it does. I like the art style. I like the story. I'm just like, do I like the gameplay? Is it misleading gameplay? Maybe.
It's one of those games where I'll probably wait because I really want to play the other Hyrule Warriors game as well because I actually really liked it. I had it on the Wii U, and then when I got the Switch, it was one of the few games that came out. I was like, oh, I may want to try that because there are a couple of cool characters.
Yeah, the thing for me, I mean, I probably should get it because I remember I looked at Hyrule Warriors when it came to the Switch, and I was like, because I've not really played the most Zelda games before, so I was like, I don't really know many of these characters. If they did it for Breath of the Wild, then that would be really cool. Now they've done it, and I'm like, oh well, I might not get it, so I feel a bit bad.
I've played nearly every Zelda game, or at least a version of every Zelda game.
I'm a fake fan. Don't worry.
I love it. I don't think it makes me more of a real fan. It just means that I've had like a lot of different Nintendo consoles.
Oh no, I'm a full fake Zelda fan. I just like Breath of the Wild.
No, that's fair. It's the best one. If you want to play others, if you ever get the chance, I definitely recommend Wind Waker. Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask would definitely be 3 I would try.
There's a lot of these play. You know, these can be added to my lockdown list as well.
No, you can skip out most of those other games. Most of them aren't decent. Just read up what happens. Twilight. I wish. I really want like a Twilight Princess sequel because that was a fun art style. I just liked the combat thing.
Yeah, it's a Zelda 35th anniversary next year, so there probably will be a sort of what was it, Mario 3D All Stars HD. It will be a Zelda 3D All Stars, or maybe it won't be called that. Maybe it'll call like Zelda Compendium of Doom or something a bit less fun. Than
I don't know. I hope they wouldn't just pick 3 because they picked 3. You'd probably. I don't know what they'd pick though.
It'll be Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and probably Wind Waker. I assume they might.
I'd probably swap Majora's Mask for Twilight Sword. See, I would hope that it would at least be who's Unknown Monster 2018 and said, how do you guys say stupid? Have we said something dumb? I don't know. I don't know if this person knows us or is just asking us a chat question. But I think maybe or do they mean like stupid versus stupid? Maybe they're asking if we're UK or not. I don't know. This is an odd Twitch chat question.
Oh, but, stupid.
Yeah, stew. Like a beef stew pid. That's such a hard way to explain that.
There's a little bit of a linguistic thing for you there.
Yeah.
Always in the chat, who knows?
But yeah, because I could say they probably need to include like for a good Zelda collection they need at least 5 because you do Skyward Sword, Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, Ocarina of Time, Link to the Past. I think if they didn't include all 5, there'd be people that would be disappointed. Because a lot of people don't love Skyward Sword, but an update without motion controls people would probably enjoy a lot more. Twilight Princess has a lot of fans. Ocarina of Time and A Link to the Past, like the 2 that people go to, is like one of those is the best ones. Breath of the Wild, they obviously can't just remake. And obviously the final one, Wind Waker, that's like the GameCube game. It's such a different art style. They kind of have to keep that. Where did we get to this from?
We just got it from the from Hyrule Warriors coming out. That's where we got it from. Maybe I'll play Hyrule Warriors.
Yes.
We'll have to see. I'll wait for the reviews. If the reviews say what I think, they might say like, yeah, it's a good story, it's a good graphics, but my god, it just markets itself on being a Breath of the Wild game and it's not. Then I might pass. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it is. That's my final take on it.
Yeah, it's going to be weird. I definitely want to see because it's going to feel weird watching it or playing it because it's like, well, we know we lose. We don't win this. So I hope it goes well because also we know that pretty much everyone dies as well. We see their ghosts. It's just Link and Zelda that survive. I guess Impa as well has been announced as a playable character and she lives on. Impa's the old woman in Kakariko Village, right?
Yeah. Definitely, yeah.
I'm asking the person that is like the biggest fan of this game. But yeah, I don't think there's much else. Cyberpunk 2077, but it's going to just be enjoying it, but then also you just getting through, seeing friends, playing Among Us is a good one to go to. I'll probably play more D&D as well, these games that are great with groups. Organizing
lots to look forward to, definitely.
There's so much. And I think with all of that, we've been going for a while now. It's time to wrap up the show. Thank you so much to everybody for listening. I hope you've enjoyed it. Sorry earlier on about the fireworks, and I think I've definitely talked over Ollie a lot. I've been very excited this session. Pokemon Go got me going.
Pokemon Go Plumbers. You love it. I did see the story and I was like, right, I've got to put this in. It's a Hamish special here. We've not talked about Pokemon Go for a while, so
Yeah,
it's good to have
had to
it
get
back.
one.
Good to have it back.
Yeah, and also there's some what is it? Some of my hours with my job are changing, so this may be the last episode for a little bit. We're trying to work it all out, but hopefully it won't be. But we'll let you guys know over on our Instagram page. It's been a little bit inactive, but I'm hoping to start picking it up again, finding time to make those Instagram posts, just because it takes up so much time. If you want to follow us, it's at the Warthog Podcast. If you're watching this on Twitch, thank you so much. Please remember to give us a follow, because that's going to really help us, particularly when we're at this early stage. If you're watching this later over on YouTube, give us a subscribe, a like, and a comment, all of that. Tell us what games you're planning to play during lockdown. If you're watching this on a podcast service, again, share us with your friends, however it is. Just send it to them. If you don't know what service they like listening to on, if you go to linktr.ee/the Warthog Podcast, or the Warthog Podcast, that should take, or it might just be the Warthog. Let me double check that. linktr.ee/ it's not the Warthog Podcast, it's just a / the Warthog. It'll give you a list of like all the different places you can find it. I'll put a link down in the YouTube description, and there'll be a link in the podcast bio as well, so you can find that. And yeah, that should be everything. I think this has been a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll see you next week. If not, we will tell you where you can find us, find more of us. But until then, it is a goodbye from me.
Bye from me.
Bye.